So there are a couple of different ways that you can feed your chameleon, and they all have their advantages and disadvantages. The most popular would be cup feeding. So there are two different cups that people will use for cup feeding, either one that they've bought or one that they've made. So the one that I bought is actually a bird feeder, and it's got these little metal hooks, which are great because I have dragon strand ledges in my enclosure, so I can just hook the cup on to the ledges and then go from there. There are a couple other different feeders you can buy. The second method would be to make your own. And this is one that I made from an orange juice container. I just cut a hole out of the middle, glued window screen mesh to the back, and then added a magnet to the back. And I used this one for a while, but then bugs started getting stuck in the neck of the bottle behind the mesh because it's curved here. I don't know if you can see that, but a superworm actually got stuck behind there and ended up turning into a beetle, and it's still back there to this day. Also, some of the bugs would eat through the mesh, so this is a flawed design, but there are plenty of other ones that you can make out there that work just fine. So cup feeding is great for being able to track how many bugs your chameleon is eating. I know if I put 10 bugs in and there are 5 left, that Neptune ate 5 bugs. Most of the bugs can't climb plastic or smooth sides, so I don't have to worry about them getting out and potentially harming Neptune or anything like that. The second most common way to feed your chameleon would be what's called free ranging or free roaming, something along those lines. And that's basically gut loading, supplementing your bugs, and then just toss them in there. This is great to add enrichment into your chameleon's life because they have to go around throughout their enclosure and hunt down their food. But the issue with free ranging your bugs is you have no idea how much your chameleon ate. You also run the risk of, I know dubias like to hide in dark spots, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually a dubia roach or two roaming in that enclosure somewhere. You can't count how many bugs your chameleon is eating. Crickets have the reputation of nibbling or biting chameleons on occasion, so that could be a potential risk if you have leftover crickets. But the biggest one for me is that you just don't know how much your chameleon is eating. Also, they're no longer gut loaded if you leave them in the enclosure for a couple days, versus if they're in the cup, then I can take them out, gut load them the night before, and keep repeating that process. The other way that you can feed your chameleon is with tongs. And this is a great way to build a bond and trust and a relationship with your chameleon. So you can just hold the bug between your tongs and then offer it to your chameleon and hope that they take it from you. Some things to keep in mind with a tong is you don't want to squeeze it so tight that your chameleon can't get it from the grasp of the tongs, and you don't want to hold it too loosely that you keep dropping the bug over and over. Now, if you're a brave soul, unlike me, then you can actually hand feed, and that's either holding the bug in a flat palm or in between your fingers. And this would build even more trust with your chameleon because then they're associating your hand and you with food, especially treats. So this is a great way to tame down your chameleon and build that relationship. I, for one, am not comfortable holding bugs with my hands at all, so I will opt for the tongs. Neptune's not a big tong feeder. He did it a couple of times when he was a baby, but now he's not really interested as an adult. I also tried free ranging bugs. I would just take one bug, place it onto the screen, and then Neptune would go and eat it. So that's how I got him to associate me with food. Also, I'm the one who's putting in his cup every single morning for food. So there's a couple ways you can do it. All the different ways have their pros and cons, so find whichever one works for you and works best for your chameleon. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Feel free to follow Neptune on Instagram at Neptune the Chameleon and subscribe so you know when I post a new video. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye! Here, Neptune. Say bye to YouTube. Yeah. Say bye! Nice. Ah, there you go.